Hi guys, I'm back with another review of Fear the Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 5, Honey. So in this one we get to see more of Dwight and Sherry together. Well, this is kind of the first time we've seen them together in a full episode since Season 7 of The Walking Dead, which was back in 2017. And I think that was early 2017, right? Or yeah, I think it was early, yeah. Or a bit late. But still, it has been 3 years since we've seen them on screen together for a full episode. And we best get to see them catch up with how things have been since they've been separated. And let's just say there's a lot of difference. Yeah, you can really tell that there's a lot of differences between the two at this point. But yeah, we'll get into that later. But yeah, so obviously spoilers if you haven't seen the episode. But where should I start? So I guess like I said, they're catching up in this place. I think where Sherry's staying. And just talking about how things have been since they've been separated. And while Sherry goes away into another room, it seems like there's someone coming into the house. And then Dwight ends up getting, I guess, taken out by someone. Well, not taken out, not like killed, just made him pass out. And then he wakes up into this place with a bag on his head. And they take it off, and then you just see all these guys with masks. And I guess we finally get to see who these masked people are. And we also see that Sherry's connected to him as well, which is interesting. And the funny thing is, I just don't understand why Sherry didn't say, he's my husband or something. Or maybe they just still didn't really trust him. And how did he get up with a gun? Well, he actually got the gun from the guy who he knocked out. And then he just sees a whole army of the masked people. But then, Sherry comes up with the mask, one of the masks, and says that, he's okay, he's not a danger, even though he's working with Virginia, basically. Yeah. So that's why they don't really trust him, because he's currently working with Virginia. But I guess by the end of the episode, he's not, because he basically fakes his death. Same with Al. But yeah. So I guess we see that Sherry has been with this group, but I don't think the whole time, obviously. I think it's since... Because these people are actually ex-members of Virginia. So think of Negan's group, but say some of them left, and then they formed their own group. But if they tried to take out Negan, they wouldn't have a chance, because when it comes to Negan, he had a lot of firepower, because he took half of everybody's shit from people, especially their most useful weapons. Oh, they couldn't really take the tiger, from the kingdom. Yeah, they couldn't really take that from Ezekiel. Even if it wanted to go with them, I don't know. I don't think Ezekiel would want to part ways with the tiger. But yeah. So where was I getting at again? Yeah, this is the people that Sherry's been with for, I guess, quite a while. And I think Sherry was in Virginia's place before. And I guess she got to know how bad Virginia was. And for some reason, Sherry really wants to take down Virginia, even after reuniting with Dwight. Taking out Virginia is still the biggest thing on her mind. Because when Dwight is getting to see her again, the thing that he wants to do instead of fighting Virginia, he wants to run away with Sherry instead of fighting this war. Because he's the reason why Dwight's wanted to stay alive. Well, other than John and Al finding... It wasn't John and Al, was it? I always get mixed up with what John's girlfriend calls, she has different names. So, but yeah, John and his girlfriend find Dwight, and then Morgan helps him out and stuff. They all help him out, and they become kind of like his family. So they gave him a reason to still live, and to have hope that Sherry's still out there, and we finally get to see Sherry. And I guess it was the right choice, because back then, yeah, Dwight was ready to give up in that episode. I remember watching that episode for the first time. Oh my god. Season 5, episode 4, that's an incredible episode. I love that episode. Oh man. I just don't know what was my favourite episode in season 5 again. because that was definitely in the top 3 in season 5. But yeah, this is the thing. I'm hoping Thea doesn't go downhill in the second half. Yeah, I just really hope they don't do that mistake. And it's kind of funny that this storyline is actually working for a lot of people since season 6 is doing really well. Like, it's on season 3 level for a lot of people right now. Even some of the ratings for the previous episodes, like episode 1 and 2, they're like on season 3 ratings right now. They've beaten some of season 3's episodes. Because, when it comes to the best episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, and you look online for the ratings, it's mostly like season 3 on the top, but some of season 6 has actually gone on the top as well. So yeah, season 6 is doing really good right now, even with a storyline that feels similar to The Walking Dead season 7, a season that didn't really do that well because I guess a lot of people didn't like how they did that season with the characters becoming enslaved. I don't know, it just made them feel depressed, especially after losing a huge character. And they could have did the same thing as well. They could have killed Morgan, and yeah, just killing Morgan. Thinking about that now, I would have had the effect of the people who gave up on The Walking Dead in after season 7. Well, in season 7, when Glenn died. Because when Glenn died, like, we had Negan now, so he became my favorite character. So that's what kept me watching. I was still enjoying it. But for a lot of fans, there's like Glenn was probably like their favorite character, so they probably gave up. But yeah, let's just get back to the show anyway. Because yeah, the show's doing good, and yeah, basically these people in the masks, they're basically, like I said, ex-members of Virginia, and they want to take out Virginia. And because, like, say if they tried to run away, they'd probably like find them again. And when Dwight was saying to Sherry to run away, and then Sherry kind of explains what this group does, because she's known them much longer. One in the way is not gonna help, and I was getting like Walking Dead vibes when Sherry and Dwight tried to run away with that girl as well, that Justin Bieber looking girl. I can't remember her name at this point because she died straight away anyway. And that was back when Sherry was like one of Negan's wives. I think that girl as well, or was gonna be one of Negan's wives. Because yeah, they tried to run away, but they still got caught, and then Dwight got his face burned. So if they tried to do something like that again, well, Dwight would need to fake his death. In a way, he could have escaped. Because he does fake his death at the end of this episode, since people are calling in from Virginia, like where he is right now. And I guess he's actually spent a week with Sherry, but he's probably had to go back in and out of Virginia to see Sherry. When he's on patrol, like, he's probably going to see Sherry at the same time, so yeah. But they've basically been communicating for like a week anyway. Like, that's when he got to find her again. Oh yeah, and Al, they've actually captured Al, the people with the masks, so I was thinking like... And what they was planning to do as well, like, are these more of the bad guys than Virginia? But then, like, the leader, who I guess Dwight knew... What was his name again? Like, was it like Paul or something? Like, I can't remember his name. Because we've just met him. And if you've seen him before, I can't remember. Especially if it was in one of the worst parts of Fear. Because Fear season 4 second half and season 5 second half, are the worst of Fear, so... And some of season 2 as well. Apart from the boat part, because for some reason, I don't know why I enjoyed the boat part. Like, how could they make a part where they're on the boat for most of the season more enjoyable than the second half of season 5 and 4? It's kind of weird, because that wasn't the best of Fear. Definitely not. But I still liked it, I guess. And how it kind of ends with that storyline when they get off the boat. But yeah, basically these people have Al hostage, and it seems like they're gonna kill her. But then the leader comes out and stops that. And then when the leader takes off the mask, Dwight recognizes him because he's actually saved him before, and he actually says more than twice as well. I mean, more than once. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, he saved him like twice. So I guess that's what gains the trust. Like that's what makes them trust him for now. Because they're still a bit edgy over Dwight, especially since he's working with Virginia. But yeah, they're trying to think of a plan to take out Virginia, and their plan is to, I guess, get that, well, basically get Al's van, the one with the turrets that Virginia took. Like I think they said they're planning to blow it up, but they can't really blow up something like that. Well, that's what Al says anyway, because she knows her vehicle really well. So yeah, that probably wouldn't work. So their new plan is to hijack the vehicle when it's on patrol or wherever it's going, and that's what they do. And man, like, it's just funny that there was only one person in the van instead of like several people, because that just made it an easy target. Really, it wasn't really going to be the hardest mission. Still a bit dangerous, but not really that hard, since they're able to jack the van and, well, the hostage, like, he nearly gets away, but then surprise, Morgan shows up and he gets to reunite with Dwight. I was happy to see him as well. And it's just funny that her first thing that she says is that, yeah, we need to make a story of what happened to you since we last seen you. Because, man, Morgan would have a great story to tell, especially from that first episode. Because Morgan does say that he got saved by someone. And I was thinking, like, is it going to be Sherry? But Sherry doesn't even know him, so. She doesn't even know him from back in, when Negan, the Negan stuff was going on. But, he was in the kingdom, so she never really got to meet Morgan. Yeah, Sherry never got to meet Morgan. More like just Dowell. Yeah, the only character she actually interacted with Rick's people is Dowell. Yeah, so that's the only person she'd recognize. If she still remembers Dowell, but I think she would. Because she definitely remembers everything about, what happened back, in the sanctuary. Since that was probably like the worst times of her life. Losing her husband, becoming a darker person, which made her run away. And being a slave to Negan, like, she had a lot of reasons to leave the sanctuary. Yeah. And this is the part where I have to say, like, wow, the tables have changed. Because we've seen what kind of person Dwight's become. He's not like how he was, where he was becoming like a dark person, the things he was doing. Like, it's kind of like the other way around now. Like, Sherry has kind of become more of a dark person. And even though it looked like Dwight was backsliding when, when Morgan captures that guy and they take him back to the base, it seems like Dwight's gonna let a dog, I guess, bite him up, like, because they put guts all over the guy who they're torturing, because they're trying to get questions on where Virginia's gonna be. But he's not really answering, and well, Morgan says that he probably doesn't really know anything. But yeah, Dwight seems like he was gonna go as far to let the dog eat him up. Yeah. But they basically stopped that anyway. I just wonder what Sherry thinks, but for some reason it feels like it's not really troubling her as much as it would have back in the sanctuary, because she's become more hardened, I guess. And we still don't know what really happened to her in Virginia, but she kind of says that it's not to do with Virginia. I don't really know. Is she doing it for these people? I just never really got a clear explanation to that anyway. Or like why she's more like Dwight was back in Sanctuary, back in the Negan days. Because yeah, she's definitely changed, and it's just kind of ironic how she's become more like Dwight from season 7, and then like Dwight's become more like Sherry from season 7, where he's not really agreeing with what Sherry's doing. Well, that's not until mostly the end, where Sherry's gonna take out the people, because they basically have a plan where Dwight calls that he finds a group of people, like hundreds of people at his place, so they're gonna meet up, and possibly Virginia might be there with him. And man, if Virginia was actually there, I just wonder if Dwight would have let Sherry pull the trigger. I just feel like he would have, but since Sherry and Dwight didn't see Virginia there, it was just like a group of other people. He was convincing. Well, I'm kind of missing some details, Because, like I said, like Dwight sets up an ambush for the people who are gonna, meet up Dwight because he says that he found some people, but it's actually a trap for them. And then Sherry and her people, well, not her people, Sherry and the master people are gonna use the van that they stole back, Al's van, since it was able to get it back, and I guess use the turrets on the van and take them out. And if Virginia was there, like man, like I'm saying, like I feel like they would have pulled the trigger. Nothing would have stopped Sherry, since she's the one who was going to be the trigger person. Because Al and Morgan don't really agree with what they're doing. Like they wanted them to wait until it was like the right time to actually attack him. But then like they get locked up for not really agreeing because Dwight's on the side of Sherry, and then like Sherry ends up looking up Dwight because Sherry doesn't want Dwight to become the person that he was back in the sanctuary because she likes the person that he is now. So Sherry doesn't really want him to do that choice. That would probably make him go back to how he was. Because he was getting a bit of vibes where he seems like he was going to do anything, especially saying that he's going to kill Virginia as well. But does he really have a big reason to kill her? Like, it's like I said, like I said while I was watching, like, is Dwight backsliding? That's what I was thinking. That's more of like of a, when Stephen Ogg was doing something. I can't remember, like, was it when he was trying to take control or something? And then Nika says, "Are you backsliding?" Yeah, that's what I get. That's where I got that from anyway. That scene. But yeah, so yeah, Dwight and all them get locked up. But then I guess that's when Dwight realizes that what he was doing was wrong, and he wants to stop Sherry as well because he realizes that Sherry's becoming more like him, like how he used to be. So he does break out and then gets to Sherry, and when the people arrive, Dwight's just trying to stop Sherry from pulling the trigger, so she doesn't become the person that Dwight was, like I said. And it gets to a point where they're driving away, but then Sherry doesn't pull the trigger, but she's kind of mad at Dwight for that. And I'm just like, really? What is this? Are you being a hypocrite or something? Even though I know it's like 3 years late, but you just seem like, because back then, I don't know, that scene, man. Because, well, it has been, well, for us it's been 3 years, but for them, maybe over a year or something, because some fans are saying like there's been like a secret time jump, and it does feel like there has been a time jump, but it's kind of hard to tell because this is definitely after they've defeated Negan. Season 4 was definitely after they defeated Negan, so yeah, because that's when Morgan finds John and Al, and then all the others. Then season 5 meet Dwight. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people are saying there's like a secret time jump. So I don't exactly know how long it's been. It's been like over a year, I'd say now. Yeah, I'm just gonna say like over a year. I don't know if it's been like 2 years, but I'm just gonna say it's been over a year since his last seen Sherry. But for us, it's been like 3 years since they've actually been together on screen. But yeah, like seems like Sherry's has changed so much. Because at the end, she's still mad like of the choice that Dwight made her do with not pulling the trigger. Because it was definitely the one choice. And even when Dwight still wants to leave with her, like she doesn't really want to go, she wants to stay here. Because I guess it's where she belongs now. And she asks, Dwight to leave. And then I guess Dwight leaves with Morgan and Al. And then we see the people from the hotel from was it episode 3? Yeah, the episode where we see Sherry again. Yeah. So yeah, we basically see the people from the hotel. Morgan's gonna take him to the place where the place that he found in episode 1, and they're gonna be doing a lot of rebuilding in that place. Let's just hope it doesn't get found and then destroyed. Yeah, who knows? But it's definitely a good spot. Yeah, we'll just see what it becomes as the season goes on. But at least Al and Dwight was able to bring those people to Morgan's new hideout. Because Isaac's, I guess it's the same place as where Isaac's, wife and baby is. But yeah. So characters are starting to come together, but obviously not all of them. But by the mid-season finale, we'll just see how many are actually all together. Like if all of them get to escape, but for some reason, I think like Strand out of all of them, he's gonna stay behind. Maybe be more on Virginia's side for some reason, or pretend that he's more on Virginia's side, but then like find a way to bring her down. I don't really know. And I just really want to see more of Alicia. She hasn't really been that much in the season. Same with Daniel. Because these are characters who have been in the show since the beginning and they're not really showing them. Because at least we still got to see Strand in episode 4. Yeah. Which episode 4, wow. Definitely a fantastic episode. But yeah. I just want to see the OG characters right now. But yeah, I guess that's it for my review. It was a good episode. It was good to see Sherry and Dwight, communicating with each other again, seeing where their relationship is right now. And, what everything that's happened with Sherry. We got some information, but we didn't really get a lot. Because we know she's been with this group recently, but obviously not forever. And we don't know if, because it seems like she was with Virginia's group. And then, left with the people who abandoned. And they're trying to take them out. But what's really making her want to take out Virginia and help these people instead of, going off in the sunset with Dwight? And yeah, I kind of missed something, well, not really, because I kind of addressed it a few times where they basically fake their deaths so they don't really have to go back to Virginia. Yeah, so that's just a little thing that I missed. It was after Dwight stopped Sherry from shooting those people, Virginia's people, in the ambush point, but yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it for the review. We'll see what happens next episode. I just want to see some more Alicia or Daniel, both of them really. Because they've only been in one episode this season, so yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. With